down, 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 Daily go get a down, 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 what we got? It's gonna be alright, y'all. What? Uh-oh. Well, we good. Down, 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 What up, y'all? Daily Go Get 'Em is some show. Hold up. Yeah, we here. We talking Diddy tonight. A lot of things going. It's kind of crazy. Talking the town. It's time for us to put a spin on it. Yeah. My man Troy Diesel. What up? Emily Dunlap in the yeah, T carry right. Morning, noon, and night. Mia Cunningham, what up? What's going on? What? Tuesday, even though it's Wednesday now. Still going down. All right, so that's how it's going down. Urban Therapy with Sun 752 with this your daily. It's the Daily Go Get 'Em show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it is? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, thinking all fast lane, no coasting, and everything is gonna be all right. I said, everything is gonna be all right. I said, everything is gonna be all right. We talk about Diddy, and I talk about a Diddy, and I talk about a Diddy, and I Diddy, and I court of public opinion. The court of public opinion. Listen, the trial, the sex trafficking trial of Sean P. Diddy Combs has started. And so have the rumors, and so have the dirt, and all of the tea, and all this old crazy stuff. I don't really like to get into that, but I think that we need to have this conversation tonight because this is a hot topic. And there are a whole lot of things that go into this gumbo of a court case. First of all, a lot of people don't even really know why he got arrested and why he is standing trial. A lot of people think that it's because of sexual assault, and it's not. This is a sex trafficking case. So we're going to get into all of that. We're going to learn a little something, teach a little something, do a little something, sit back, relax, and chill. We're going to make sure to pull out your chair and get ill. Sit down for a little while, yo, grab the wheel, yo, start driving, living live and living your life, yo. We ain't got to get right. You know, my wife, she thinks she the shit, and I agree. Down with me, he who fronts on his missus will get nothing but a bunch of male kisses. Why would you want that? That you stack there's a lot of freak shit in that. So that's what we're gonna talk about tonight, man. There's a whole. Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay. So when you start talking about this case, this whole Diddy thing, you're talking about a whole lot of freaky stuff. Freaky beyond just the regular nasty stuff that you might be used to, you know? You know what I mean? Like, when you hear about these legendary freak off parties, these legendary Diddy parties and all of that. We're talking about something pretty much otherworldly. We're not talking about the regular, some of the hotel parties that we may have gone to back in the day. Some things that you may have, some places that you may have gone, places that you may have frequented, things that you've been invited to. This is more than even just your regular industry party, because you're talking about these freak-offs that was so legendary and so well known in Hollywood by the A-list crowd or the who's who or whatever. And now you see how a whole lot of fun can get you into a whole lot of trouble that you can't even really explain without incriminating yourself. It's kind of wild. It's kind of wild. So whether you support Sean Diddy Combs or you think he's a monster, and he's the worst thing that ever graced the soil of the earth. Well, everybody deserves a fair trial in the United States. That's just the way our justice system works, or our injustice system, depending on how you look at it. What up? Shirley Show, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Shirley Show, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. I need y'all to do me one little favor. I need y'all to do me a one little solid. I need y'all to please hit the like button. Hit the like button. I ain't gonna sell y'all nothing. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna try to sell y'all nothing like that. I just need y'all to hit the like button. Help the show out. Help the channel out. Please. We gonna have some fun tonight. We have fun every night. Every night is edutainment around here. Every night we learn a little something. We teach a little something. We take a little something. We give a little something. Everybody gets a bag. You leave here with a little bag of something, party favors. Party favors. No Diddy party favors, though. You might leave with I don't know. You might have to leave with an explanation. You don't want to have to leave with an explanation. What up, y'all? What's going on, my peoples? How y'all feeling tonight? How are y'all feeling tonight? Listen, Diddy in the court of public opinion. Diddy in the court of public opinion. There's a reason why I named the show Diddy and the Court of Public Opinion. Because, the court of public opinion is where it goes down. That's where your reputation comes from, really, in the court of public opinion. When you get in that courtroom, if you've been accused of a crime, if you've done something that was wrong, if somebody is suing you or whatever, in court, they're going to have to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are guilty. And that will determine whether you have to pay up or whether you're going to spend some time behind the bars. Normally, you spend time behind the bars and you have to pay up a bunch of money. They kill two birds with one stone in the justice system. They kill two birds with one stone in the justice system. But I'm curious to know at this juncture, how much do y'all know about this trial? How much do y'all know about this Diddy trial? Is he standing trial for a crime that he didn't commit? And what I mean by that is, I'm not saying that he didn't do anything, but if you think that he is standing trial for one crime and he actually has been accused and is being tried for something else that you may not even be aware of, you may think that he got off or got convicted for the wrong thing. You may be thinking that he got railroaded. Railroaded. Hold on. My dude, give me just a second. Let me make sure I get right. Yo, Troy, was I coming through loud and clear on the live stream?
Yes, you was.
All right, cool. Just fuck that up. All right. Drop the mic, and it wasn't because of something I said.
Mic drop.
Mike Drizzy. All right, we good. But yeah, like I said, in the court of public opinion, a lot of people think that a lot of things are going down or should happen or will happen. And when they don't, you may get the wrong impression about whatever was going on in the first place. So that's what we're talking about tonight. Diddy in the court of public opinion. What is your opinion of Sean Diddy Combs these days? Are you one of those people who said, I'm not listening to none of his music. I don't even care about the music that he's produced over the years. I'm not supporting this bum. I'm not supporting this monster. I'm not supporting this criminal. Anything that he got accused of, I believe that he did part of it. He was involved. He was involved. He was involved. I mean, some people may feel that way. And some people, I'm noticing a little shift from the people I'm talking to and the people that I'm seeing. Certain posts are suggesting that Cassie wasn't all the way right in this whole thing. A lot of people are saying that maybe she was a willing participant because she was getting paid all of those years. Like hold on. None of these incidents are one-offs. So she did it once, twice, 3 times a freaky, and he paid you.
And he paid you.
That's right. I'm about to play piano. When we freak together, moments I treasure. Some baby oil and all right, let me chill. All right, my man Troy Diesel. What's going on, my dude? How you feeling tonight, man?
On live stream? I'm gonna cut off the live stream, fam. I'm just gonna say the family. What's going on in the family?
I mean, I hope everybody good. I'm feeling like a real man should. You already know you're gonna make this thing happen.
You talked about this a couple months ago when you said, I don't understand why a lot of things that they it's not that you don't understand it. It's the fact that you don't understand why they won't give him bail, and what's the problem with the law system? Why he's not able to come home?
Yeah. I still feel that way.
Yeah, you still feel that way, and I've been feeling that way after hearing what you were saying. Because when you start listening to what his defense teams are saying, first and foremost, if you have information on underage kids, oh yeah, he's guilty now. He's guilty. But if you got adults, I'm not talking about 18-year-olds. I'm talking about 21, 22, all these and up in years. Oh no, that's consensual. There's no, I can't. If I buy you a ticket and you fly out here, I just bought you a ticket. You wanted to come out here. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, man.
I'm not kidnapping you. I'm not coming out to where you live at and putting a gun to your head or sending somebody to put a gun to your head to fly out here.
Yeah, there's a lot of dirty stuff because I can't believe that you came to a Diddy party not having any type of notion or suspicion about what was going to go down. But most of these people have done this multiple times.
Yeah, and that's the part that's bothersome to me. It's not the Diddy party, it's the Diddy after party. You see, you got the Diddy party where everybody was sitting there partying. There's a certain time you have to leave, though. You understand what I'm saying? Like Jamie Foxx said it, and Denzel said it, and other people was like, look, there's nothing wrong with going to a Diddy party, but you have to leave at a certain time. But the thing about it is that I've been listening to some of what's been going on in court, and
some of the witness testimony.
Some of the witness testimony, and first with Cassie was asked today that what happened with the because when she got beat up in that hallway, she was leaving from a session with Diddy and an escort. That same escort was on the witness stand yesterday. Today she said Diddy and the guy peed on her. She didn't want that to happen. No,
she said that he peed in her mouth until she choked.
Yes. That's what she said. She said she didn't want that to happen. He said yesterday she asked for him to do that.
Listen, that's what
You see what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, this shit, it's some deep shit going on with this trial. I mean, because and this is only the preliminary shit. This ain't even, you know what I mean? It started, but it hasn't started. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they just finished jury selection a little while ago. You know, that we haven't really gotten into the meat and potatoes. Motherfuckers singing already. So what I'm noticing, though,
the whole thing about it is that the whole situation is that, can you imagine being Cassie's husband? You got 3 kids with her, and you sitting in there having to hear testimony about this shit?
Yeah, I could imagine, because he already knew. The thing about this whole Cassie thing, and don't get me wrong, because I'm not trying to be victim shaming up in here. You know what I mean? But the thing is, what happened. Now, you were either a willing participant or you were totally resistant. Which one is it? With Cassie, it doesn't seem to be a clear cut victimization. It just doesn't seem as clear cut as it looked on that tape. Speaking of that tape,
I agree with that, because what takes me out about it is that let's just put this out there. Me and you both are pro-women when it comes to domestic violence. We will not condone the disrespectfulness or the ignorance of any man putting their hand on a woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most important thing we have to put out here on the stream. But at the end of the day, I'm still trying to understand that at what point in time did you not make a decision to just leave? What took you 10 years to say, after 10 years in 2018, to say, I'm leaving? Because after all, if it was all this bad from day one, because you do know her first boyfriend was Ryan Leslie. Diddy took her from Ryan Leslie.
Well, you know, I mean, he took his baby mom. He took
Kim Porter from I'll Be Sure.
Yeah, so I mean, he bought that life.
You know, and Ryan Leslie, you know, he's the one that produced the song Cassie's first album. And the fucked up part is that she said she had a 10-record deal and couldn't sing worth shit.
Yeah, she was. I had that first album. I was like, well, you know. But okay, all right. Here's my thing. Now, from what I understand, what I know about abuse is, yeah, sometimes people can take years and years of abuse before they finally either strike back or you know, escape or whatever. I mean, there can be a variety of reasons that a person will stay in an abusive relationship, especially if you're dealing with an abuser who promises to change, who apologizes incessantly, or in a case like Diddy, I believe that he probably apologized at times, promised to do better, and he was paid out his fucking ass. So I don't think that you can escape the financial motive of staying. I mean, you got a lot of women out here that get their ass whooped every day for free. Well, I don't know if she had to endure that every day, but I do know that she was getting paid. You know what I mean? Like, money wasn't a thing, literally. And unfortunately for some people, that's good enough. And if you really think about it, Troy, what's the difference between staying in an abusive situation or a toxic situation because it's financially lucrative for you, and staying with an abusive spouse for the kids? What's the difference? Because what do you want for the kids? You want them to be provided for. You want them to see to grow up in a 2-parent family, regardless of how fucked up the 2-parent family is, regardless of how toxic it is, regardless of how negative it is going to impact the children. But you know,
I'm looking at what somebody Mia said in the chat that I'm no, I'm not coming. I'm asking questions.
Well, here's the thing.
I didn't come off victimizing her. I said I'm just trying to understand that, and what part within the 10-year period you know, that you made the decision to say, I'm leaving. And what made you leave? Because if you was going through the parties and you was getting pissed on and you was getting abused and you was getting your ass beat, there's no amount of money that can keep you there ever. There's no amount of money. I can care less if you love the person or if it's that deep, or even if you got kids with the person.
Here's the thing.
At the end of the day, it got to the point where it got that bad that you didn't say shit for almost 2 years, and then when you did say something, you got $35 million to not speak on it. I'm not victimizing. It's the reality of what's going on.
Here's the thing, Troy. You got to understand when we talking about abuse, when you're talking about violence, especially when it comes to women, you're going to get a whole lot of strong opinions and feelings because people have been through this shit. You understand what I'm saying? So I wouldn't get too. I would keep my concentration right here. You understand what I mean?
Because like I said to you on I think it was Saturday. My mom was abused.
Listen. Anybody, hold on. You don't have to validate yourself. Anybody who listens to this show knows how you feel about women and about abuse.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, but you gotta, before this show is over, you're gonna see all kinds of shit in that chat. You know what I mean?
I just don't understand. My thing is this. It's like even like when we talked about Bill Cosby, and I said everything about Bill Cosby. You know, like I said, I don't condone it. If he did anything wrong, I don't condone that. But what I'm saying is that throughout all those years, any white woman or anybody that went and said anything, that would have said anything about Bill Cosby's in the 60s or 70s, he's still a nigga. He's just a rich nigga that would have been locked up behind jail. And that's the whole thing. Look at where Diddy at.
Look.
Diddy behind jail. Because of the situation of what happened. Now, listen. Bro.
We are 27 minutes in. We got to use every minute of this shit. So let's go. So like I said, this is called the court of public opinion. Remember that.
Yeah.
The court of public opinion. There's a reason why court isn't held in the streets. There's a reason why the legal system is not based on a vote. You know what I'm saying? Well, even though if you count the jury, it's kind of like a vote, but you know what I mean? But, you know, you have to hear evidence. So the evidence that a lot of people are hearing right now is swaying opinions. Sometimes for some people is making their opinion, you know, stronger into however they felt before. But at the end of the day, there are witnesses. There are witness accounts, and there's evidence, physical evidence, and witness testimony that's going to be taken into account. So just like when OJ was on trial, even though the trial was televised, everything wasn't televised. You know what I mean? So one thing about the media, one thing about the cameras, one thing about the networks is they can make something look like they want it to look. If they want somebody to look like the good guy, they can do it. And they want somebody to look like the bad guy, they can do that too. But when you get inside that courtroom, you hear the real evidence that's there. That's all you have to deal with. Have people been railroaded before? Yes. But one thing about Diddy is he's not going to get railroaded. He can afford the legal counsel that he needs in order to make this thing happen for him. So, well, however this thing goes down, it won't be because he got shitted on because he couldn't afford a lawyer and evidence got suppressed that would have exonerated him. None of that shit is going to happen. So taking that into consideration, remember that this show is called Diddy in the Court of Public Opinion. When it gets to the point where with however long this of a trial this takes, when it really gets down to when they get close to their closing remarks and all of that, we might hear some shit that might turn all of our opinions from north all the way to south. We don't know yet. Right now, we getting some evidence that we never really thought about before because we didn't know. There's going to be more evidence that we don't know coming from the prosecutor side, prosecutorial side, prosecutor. What's the word? It's prosecutor. I mean, I like to say shit right. And from the defense's side. So with that being said, so, you know, I didn't know about the whole peeing in the mouth thing. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, you hear something like that. But when I heard it, I'm like, so he peed in your mouth until you choked. So I'm like, was you cool with it until you choked? And like, I mean, peeing in the, huh? Like this was a thing. Now I'm here.
And when the escort was like, she asked him to. I'm like, she asked him to.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, that's the whole thing about it. You know, I mean, you know, and then she told the jury that she's an extremely jealous woman. And she dealt with it in certain ways. So I mean, this domestic violence thing does not compete. One thing I agree with the defense team said. This is not. These charges does not go with the charge. This is a domestic violence case for state court. This is not. He shouldn't be on trial for what he's on trial for.
This is a sex trafficking case. So
yeah, well, we haven't got to that part yet.
Well, so exactly. So people think there are so many people who think that this is a sexual abuse or domestic abuse or physical abuse case, and it's not. So that's what I mean by, you know, the court of public opinion. The public is going to get it wrong. And at the end of all of this, you're going to either think he got off easy or you're going to think that he got railroaded. If you don't know what the fuck he's there for in the first place. He is on trial for sex trafficking. So that video of that happened 9 years ago now of him beating up Cassie, that's pointing more towards his character. To try to determine if he is more likely to have done the things that he's actually charged for. But he's not going to jail for beating her up. That's not going to happen.
And also that video is pretty much, and the questioning is pretty much asking if he started to do that.
Well, here's the thing.
And that's part of the thing that you just said. That's part of their case.
I read something today on AOL News, and I know, you know what I mean, I'm not going to tell y'all no information that I got from off of the you know, from no bloggers or nothing like that, because I don't know how reliable they are. But one thing I do know is they say a whole lot of shit to just get clicks and views and all that kind of shit. And I'm not dealing in none of that nonsense. I only want to talk about verifiable information. So on AOL News, they were saying that the defense finally got a copy of the video where he beat up Cassie, played in real time, because the video that we saw was sped up. The video that everybody saw was sped up. So when you see it in real time, it gives a different type of look to it. Now, there are no deleted scenes or anything like that. He still punched, he still kicked, he still dragged. But when you see the speed at which it happened, when it like, for example, when you see Cassie out there in the hallway or in the lobby or whatever, wherever she was when he came out with the towel on, like if you see her there for a longer time than it took from the video that we all saw, you see, like, Well, she could have got up off her ass and just left. But in the video, if the video is sped up, it looks like he was giving chase. You know what I mean? And he caught up to her with the quickness. It may or may not have been that way. Anyway, the defense was satisfied. They were actually pleased that the video in the real speed and time was released in court. Now, we're probably not going to get that version in the public. Not now anyway. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But things like this matter. We got to anybody who has been to jail, y'all know how court goes. So I don't know why people be acting like all of this evidence that comes out in the beginning and all of that is going to damn somebody or send somebody to hell. It don't work that way. It's a case. It's court. It takes time. Evidence has to be presented. So, you know, this is the beginning. This is the first quarter. Literally. It's the first quarter.
Matter of fact, no, it's the pre-show.
Well, I know they playing. They're definitely on the field. Now, what's that? Santique Jacob says they just laying a foundation. The house is not built yet. Yet exactly. This is a character layer. Okay. All right. And Chris Curry says Andre Harrell, Kim Porter, Heavy D, and almost I'll Be Sure because he survived. All of them started Uptown Records. Facts.
Yeah, and all of them are dead other than I'll Be Sure that almost died. Yeah.
Well, you know, I mean,
all of them were getting ready to do tell-all books.
Not Heavy D.
Yes, he was.
He was? I never heard that. I never heard that.
Yeah. Your girl Jaguar Wright said that. I don't know.
No. Let's not fuck with that. No. No. We're not. People like her are exactly who I'm talking about. I'm not fucking with no Jaguar.
You know what bothers some about this, man? You know, it takes me out there when people sit back and they come forward to say everything they seen happen. Like, what's his name? Gene Bill and Jaguar Wright. If y'all seen all this happening, then y'all just as wrong as the crowd. Because y'all didn't turn it in. Y'all said nothing. Y'all could have protected Cassie from all them years. Y'all could have protected a lot of women from all this shit. Y'all could have protected a lot of men's assholes from all of this shit.
Yeah. There's enough culpability to go around. I mean, at the end of the day,
just came out with a book.
At the end of the day, it seems to me that those Diddy parties, those after parties, whatever, those free calls, let's put it that way. They seem to be equivalent to a haunted house. You go in there, you have mad fun, but you get scared as shit. You know what I mean? It's based on a horror show. So when you make it through it, it's like, yo, that shit is crazy. I'm gonna go back next week though. You know what I mean? Like
that's exactly that's the thing that's another thing. Let's take Cassie out, right? You mean to tell me that as a man, you went to a Diddy party, you woke up Friday, you went there on a Friday, you woke up Saturday morning and you felt uncomfortable in your rectum area. So you went to the ER and they said this happened to you and that happened to you. Mm-hmm. And you went home, you slept it off, and you said, you know what? I'm going to go back to that Diddy party the next night.
Mm-hmm.
You knew what just happened. They told you what happened to you. At no point in time did you think, and then you went back Saturday, then you went back home, you felt uncomfortable, you woke up again, and then you went back Sunday. And you just enjoyed yourself.
Mm-hmm.
None of y'all, you never thought about you being raped or drugged?
I don't think
nobody even thought about saying anything about none of that. See, when you sit back and say, if you take Cassie out the picture and you want to say to me that she was a victim, she was an abused victim, this, that, and other, okay, take Cassie. But everybody that was on that thing came forward could have been arrested. They didn't have to go back to their house. And if they felt some type of way, when you sit back and you say that all these people, to me, this is just my opinion, I know if I went to let's say I went to a Nicki Minaj party, and all of a sudden shit start happening to me, and me and Nicki is in a relationship, and she just throwing everything to me and abusing me and this, that, and other. And after a certain amount of time, if I leave, I'm not leaving and going home. I'm going to the authorities. I'm going to the authorities if I feel that bad. So when I go to the authorities, I'm gonna say I need protection.
Yeah, I'm not gonna speak on the motivation or lack of motivation to escape by the victims, because it can happen to anybody. You know what I mean? Like it's like asking a child how come they didn't tell anybody. I mean, fear keeps a lot of people silent. And
I'm talking about embedded victims. Like Cassie, she's an embedded victim. She lived with them. You understand what I'm saying? The ones that got to leave and go home.
Well, everybody's going to have their day in court. They're going to have their say so. They're going to have a chance to defend themselves now. We can't change the past. And I'm sure that a whole lot of people, including Diddy and Cassie, wish that they could change some part of this past. Because as everybody's experiencing right now, money might have been your guide before, but right now it ain't working out so well. So you can be rich and you can be unhappy. And many people have experienced that. And I think that some of them are going through that right now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. One thing you can't do is buy your soul back. You get one soul. So, in the court of public opinion, like I said, a lot of people are going to feel like Diddy is a monster and he's 100% wrong. But I'm seeing a lot of people who were saying that he was wrong before, and they starting to change their tune a little bit. Now they changing their tune with the information that they are getting, whether it's good information, bad information, right information, wrong information. Right now, how will they feel when we get into the meat and potatoes of this case? One thing about anybody who's going to court knows that this shit ain't Law and Order. Mm-hmm. This shit ain't People's Court. This ain't Judge Mathis. It ain't fun. All of those shows. He ain't
trying on no blood like OJ. He ain't trying on no blood.
Look, court cases are not fun. Anybody who has spent time on a real case knows that shit ain't fun. You know what I mean? Shit's a pain in the fucking ass. And it don't resemble nothing like it does on TV, where they condense that shit into an hour show. That shit takes mad hours, breaks, you know what I mean? Presenting all this evidence, suppressing evidence, or should I say, what do they call it when you object to evidence being presented or whatever? Not suppressing it, but whether they will allow certain evidence to be presented or not. But anyway. So what I would like to do is, for the people who are participating in the chat right now, I would like to get a general idea of, are y'all more, okay. One thing my motivation for the poll question was to see how much people are feeling as far as Diddy's guilt, his culpability, and Cassie. Like, where are we with it? Do you believe, like, even if you believe that Diddy is mostly responsible, mostly culpable, mostly guilty, do you think that he should be jailed? Do you think that he should be jailed for a long time? I mean, some people may feel like, all right, time served. He ain't killed nobody. That's a different trial. So, Lean Vibes says, hell nah. So I guess he's on Diddy's side.
Well, I'm ready for when I hear the meat and potatoes, then I can make a decision. Right now, I'm right there. I'm on that second. I'm on that middle. Yeah, like I'm 50-50 on it until I get to hear the rest of the meat and potatoes. Because if it's underage kids that's been there, like teenagers and stuff like that, then that's it for me. That's pretty much it for me.
Okay. Well, I say we already have 27 votes, so we can gauge a little bit about how people feel about this. So the question is, what would you rate Diddy's level of guilt? 67%, big number. 67% says 100%. He's a monster. All right. Now 26% says 50%. Cassie ain't all that innocent. Okay. Now only 4% say that 35% says it was his house, his parties. So and 15 to 25% say, well, it's only 4% that voted on both of these. They say they were all grown. Stop it. So
Cassie said they asked about the baby oil. She said there's a lot of fucking baby oil. I was glistening.
This shit is crazy, man. This shit is crazy. But yeah. So most of the people who voted in the poll feel like Diddy is guilty. Now, will they feel that the same way? Will they feel that way after the trial goes on a little bit more and more evidence gets presented? I believe wholeheartedly that Diddy is guilty of something.
Yeah.
I wonder if he is as guilty of these crimes as the court of public opinion believes.
But
maybe yes,
guilty,
maybe no.
I want him to be guilty of the crimes that they charging him for.
Well, that's the only thing they can. That's all they can either.
But see, the thing about it is that the court of public opinion is saying that he's guilty, but we haven't got to the point where he's guilty of the charges. We haven't seen the sex trafficking yet. We haven't heard nothing about the sex trafficking yet.
Well, but that's still what he's on trial for. So they'll build up to all of that, and
So when they reveal all that part, and if there's any, like I said, they reveal that part, if it has anything to do with underage children, boys or girls, whatever, then we're done.
Yeah. So we're going to see. There's going to be a lot of information coming out. Some that we knew about, and some that we didn't know about. Kim said he's always been garbage. So let me see. Let's see. Santique Jacob says, it's long and tiring with the legal tango. I think he's a monster even before this crap. All the lives he is ruined, like Justin Bieber.
What about Usher? Usher too.
Do these kids have parents?
Yes. There you go. I still don't understand why would you leave him? Why would you leave them with him? Why would you? I mean,
listen,
there's a lot going on YouTube when they talk about this case, because they even talked about the Justin Bieber and Usher thing, but especially Justin Bieber.
Well, the thing is, there was still a financial motivation for all of this, and trust me, that's going to be called into question. But they're going to discredit a lot of witnesses over this. Like you were talking about with the escort, he was getting paid for it. So he's a witness now, but it's like at the end of the day, he cashed them checks. You know what I'm saying? Even if you talk about a Justin Bieber, if you talk about Usher and all of that, I think it's interesting how I don't see anything wrong with having empathy or sympathy for any human being. I don't. But I just think it's interesting how so many people claim that if they just had enough money to pay all of their bills and still be able to go shopping, then they wouldn't complain about shit in this world. And then you see all of these people that we're talking about who can pay all of their bills and still have plenty left over to go shopping. And these are the people that we feeling sorry for. Meanwhile,
we're not talking about a millionaire. We're talking about a billionaire.
I'm not even. I wasn't even talking about Diddy. I'm talking about the Ushers. I'm talking about the Biebers. I'm talking about the Cassies. I'm talking about any of them.
Yeah.
I'm talking about any of them. I just think it's interesting how we give so much of our emotional energy to those victims. And I'm not saying that they're not victims. But do you know how many people would love to be those victims just because of the money?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So we got a bunch of people that are in therapy right now. They struggling though. Shoot.
It reminds me of a joke that Dave Chappelle said on Sticks and Stones when he said that the guy the young boy got touched. Michael Jackson was down on a white kid that he was taking care of, and the white kid went to school the next day, and they was like, "Yo, what you did this weekend?" He said, "I got my penis stuck by Michael Jackson." And then Dave Chappelle said, "There's a lot of people out here that getting touched by their uncles and stuff, but it wasn't Michael Jackson."
Yeah.
And I was like, and I'm saying to myself, this guy's crazy, but it's the truth. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, great money is the root to all evil, and you don't even have you get so much that you're willing to sacrifice your own children. You're willing to sacrifice your own children to get them to the next level, not realizing what's happening behind the scenes.
Well,
you entrusting yourself. Like when L.A. Reid took Usher to Diddy, you knew Diddy, L.A. Reid.
Word.
You knew him.
Mm-hmm.
When Usher took Justin Bieber to Diddy, you knew him, Usher.
Listen, man.
You knew him.
Listen, that you said money is the root of all evil, but it says that the worship of money is the root of all evil. When money becomes your god, I mean, what can you really complain about? You made money your god. All right, well, watch God work. You know what I mean? That God got a different way of working. The money God doesn't deal with peace and love and unity and trust and honesty. That's not what the money God does. The money God different. You know what I'm saying? Don't. When you start feeling the pain, just remember you got paid. You can still lean on your bank account and all of that kind of shit. There are plenty of people out here suffering for free. You made a conscious decision. You can call it an Illuminati decision, whatever you want to do. Secret societies. All right. Listen, that only applies to the people that it applies to. We're not exactly sure that how it works because it's not an exact science, and motherfuckers is not coughing up the truth. They're not giving up the tapes on how the shit works. Okay. But one thing we do know, you got paid something. And that definitely puts you on a higher tax income bracket than most of the general population out here. Well, anybody who has ever been the boss at any job knows that you gotta pay the cost to be the boss, like James Brown said. It ain't sweet like that. Anybody who thinks being the boss is just about chilling in a nice plush chair behind a desk with your feet up, I don't know. How you think he got here? He's called a boss. That means he bossed around somebody. So, okay. All right. Court of public opinion. According to this poll, most people agree that or say that Diddy is a monster. A monster. A monster. I don't know. I'm kind of careful about calling somebody a monster who I don't really know. And to be honest with you, I never liked Diddy. You know what I mean? I didn't take the stance that a Suge Knight took like, all up in the videos and all. But I did feel that way. You could clearly see when he started Bad Boy Records, you could clearly see that he wanted to be on stage. He wanted the limelight. He wanted the microphone.
My determination as Diddy went down the drain when I realized that he the real culprit in Biggie's death.
Well, why do you say
he's
that?
The real culprit.
How do you know that though?
What's my conspiracy theory?
Well, here's the thing. Like, wasn't Biggie worth more to him alive than dead?
No, well, Biggie was planning on leaving him because his record, he was getting ready to leave him and start his own record company.
Yeah, but he already had his record company with
Junior Mafia and
yeah, but
he was getting ready to set up shop, and he was getting ready to get a $50 million advance. I forgot who it was from.
Well,
but he was getting ready to get a $50 million advance, and I mean.
Here's the thing. Even if he did, that's not going to. He sold 100% of his publishing to Diddy. So regardless of how much money he made up front, he owed Diddy more albums. And you know how Diddy do. If you don't know how he does when you try to leave his label, ask Craig Mack, ask 112, ask Faith, ask anybody. If you was signed to Bad Boy, you ain't. Mace. Yeah, Mace told you. Like, listen, you can go and you can let another label go ahead and pay you, but you gonna see Bad Boy Records on their label. When 112 went to Def Jam, what did you see on that album cover? I mean, well, not on the album cover, on the back of it, it said Def Jam and it said Bad Boy Records. So yeah, same thing with the Locks. You saw Rough Riders and you saw Bad Boy Records because he still owned the rights. So you basically, for another label to have to take a chance on you, it's like they hustling backwards because they're basically renting you. So how much you think you're gonna get paid off of this rental? You're not gonna do much better than you was doing when you was getting shitted on by the Bad Boy contract, but at least you off the label, and I don't know, maybe you can get your show money, start your own label with somebody, and that's what the Locks did. But regardless of all of that, I don't know if Diddy had anything to do. They saying that he had Tupac killed, that he had Biggie killed, and all. Biggie was worth a lot more to Puffy alive than dead. Now, people have voted against their own interests and basically killed off their opportunities plenty of times in this world and in this life. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. But I'm just thinking from a business standpoint. You own 100% of his publishing. So even if he made the double album, which would have counted as 3 albums, with Ready to Die. Well, no. Honestly, contractually, when you make a double album or double CD, it does count as 2 albums on your contract. So those Diddy contracts was long. He was getting motherfuckers. He was signing motherfuckers on 10 album deals. 10 albums? So that's why he ain't no problem releasing nobody. Like, you ain't gonna work for nobody else without paying me. You owe me 10 albums. Like, there are cats who never made an album on Bad Boy. And you wonder why they never made an album nowhere else, because they couldn't. Diddy was mad shrewd. And how Jay-Z said, I'm getting them back for what they did to the Cold Crush. But he ain't give no money to the Cold Crush. You know what I'm saying? I always thought that was an interesting line. Like, so you getting them back for what they did to your peoples, but you ain't give nothing to your peoples? Well, Diddy did the same thing. Diddy was way more cutthroat than Jay-Z was, but that's because he came up in the industry. He understood it. to the fullest. He was a protege. You know, he took the master class.
And you know what took me out? It takes me out that everybody's sitting on here and we talking about Diddy, but we're not talking about the person that backed Diddy.
Who? Clive Davis?
Clive Davis.
And we're not going to.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Just saying.
For the public opinion, because he's the one that got the Diddy.
Yeah, but the thing is, Diddy is smarter than most people. So regardless of who got him started, he learned what he learned things and he retained information and he was consistent. I don't know if y'all know, but Diddy was the one who encouraged MC Search to shit on Nas on his first album. MC Search said, I don't want to be that Jew that shitted on the project of the black rapper. So he gave Nas a decent contract and you know, for it to be a classic ass album, it didn't even go gold. Illmatic didn't even go gold. It's gold and platinum now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But when it came out, it wasn't that much of a commercial success. It did all right, like 300,000 copies. You know what I mean? But for the time, the effort. By the time went on, it just grew. Diddy. So it's not that it wasn't a masterpiece when it came out, but
right. It was pretty much as time went on, it grew to a masterpiece.
But Puffy, as he was called at the time, was telling Search like, yo, man, fuck that. You know what I mean? This is the industry. Get your money. That motherfucker blow up. That's on you. You know what I mean? Don't let him leave with your money. And Search didn't do it. But you got to think about what kind of man Diddy is. So Diddy was encouraging the Jew to shit on the nigga. And when you think about it, it made sense. Because he was like, basically he was saying, shit, if it was me, that's what I would do. And it was him with Biggie.
And he's done it. He's done it numerous times.
He did it with Biggie. That's what I'm saying. Him, if he did get Biggie killed, like, I'm there's no way anybody will ever convince me that Suge wasn't behind Biggie's death. I'm sorry. I'm not going to the out of bounds. It's the kind of dude that Suge was. You ain't gonna tell me that he ain't get Biggie done in. Come on, man. Come on.
Well, I'm gonna put it to you like this. This is my opinion is either Biggie had his own mind. Everything, I don't give a fuck about no damn Soul Train Awards. I know I would have been via satellite on TV saying thank you for my award. I'd have performed via satellite from New York. You wouldn't even see me on no plane in LA.
Yeah, going out there was the dumbest thing he could have ever done. It's a shame that happened.
At the same time, you bring in a song talking about, this is almost a month or so after, like what, 3-4 months after Tupac died. Mm-hmm. Tupac died in September. Biggie got killed in March. Mm-hmm. You know, so I'm saying to myself, there's no way in God's great earth, you know, that I would have been out in LA talking about I'm going back to Cali. No, the fuck I'm not. No, the fuck I'm not.
Shit, he should have had mass security out there. You know what I mean? It's a shame.
And that's what the boy Gene Gill was talking about. He said when they left that museum, right? Diddy didn't put nobody in that car with Biggie that had a gun on him. Nor did, because Gene Gill said he was going to ride on the side of the car that Biggie got shot on. And Gene Gill was like, he said Diddy was like, if you ride on the fucking side of that car and over there, right there like that, I'm fucking firing you tonight.
All right, I mean, that's all well and good. Nonetheless,
but that's to me. I mean, that's Biggie here there. We talking about the Biggie, public opinion.
All I'm saying is, you know, Biggie was 24 years old, still a very young man, but he understood, just like he understood the risks of the streets. I think for him to go out there and act like it was sweet like that, I just don't think that wasn't a good look. Knowing the kind of stain that Tupac put on him, you know what I mean? Love it or hate it, he did. You know what I mean? That just wasn't a wise decision to go out there. It wasn't a wise decision to go out there, period. And it wasn't a wise decision to go out there without mass security. Now, you know, unfortunately in hip hop, you know, us having security and all of that is looked at, is frowned upon, like we soft and all. Man, fuck all that. I'm alive though. You know what I mean? Fuck that. So you had a 25-year-old and a 24-year-old who had that kind of impact on pop culture and hip hop in particular, and that's it. That's it.
They going.
So listen, we got 79 people in the chat and 17 likes. Come on, y'all. Y'all can do better than that. Y'all can do better than that. Can y'all please just hit the like button? It helps out the channel. 85 people and 17 likes. Come now. There should at least be 35 likes. Can we get it there? Can we get it there? I know sometimes you come into the show, you start listening, maybe you start typing, maybe you doing whatever. You know what I mean? Just do me one little solid, hit the like button, and everything will be all right. This is the Daily Go Getimism Show. I'm your host, Sun752. I'm chilling with my man Troy on the line, and we are talking about Diddy in the court of public opinion. So we are talking about this case that's going on with Diddy.
So let me ask you a question.
Hold on. Hold on, man. Stop. Let me finish.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you gotta chill. Don't make me turn your mic off. I do it. So, like I said, this trial, the sex trafficking trial has just started. If any of y'all would like to call into the show, this is a totally interactive show and there is no censorship. Y'all know that we have to abide by the rules in the chat. But when you call into the show, you can say whatever you want to say. I don't even require that you be respectful. Just go ahead and speak your truth. If there is such a thing, rock your information, receive some, give some, take home some, rock out with some. Dr. Darnell, what's good? Good to see you back. Good to see you. What up, Brenda? Appreciate you.
When you press that like button, don't forget to subscribe. You know what I mean?
Hey, I'm gonna give them the easy job first. They'll subscribe if they feeling it, but you can give a like just because you're here. If you giving up 5-10 minutes of your time, you know what I mean? That's worth a like in my book. Don't worry, we're not gonna bug y'all. We're not gonna come. We're not gonna go to your account and start begging and selling you something or nothing like that. You know what I mean? Listen, it's all love. We just trying to get out the information here. We trying to learn a little something. But this trial, one thing I'm glad about with this trial, I'm not seeing people get separated over their opinions on this shit. You know what I mean? There may be a little, some people might feel some kind of way, but this ain't like a Kamala Harris versus a Donald Trump thing. You know what I mean? Where motherfuckers
OJ trial.
Well, black people didn't really get divided over the OJ thing. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm talking about divided within races because there was a black and white component with that.
Yeah, black
and white component with Kamala and Donald Trump.
Yeah,
but this right here is all.
Well, the thing about it was with Kamala versus Trump, it was an ideological discussion going on. There were ideological divisions going on. It tapped into people's ways of life, the way that they saw things, their whole perspective on things. With the OJ trial, it wasn't really like that. Basically, if you was black, you was for him, and if you was white, you wasn't. It's not like with the Trump and Kamala now. It's like, oh, well, she ain't even really black, and why y'all want to be prejudiced now? Trump ain't racist, and fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? Like with with OJ, we didn't have no experience with him killing somebody before. With Trump, we had a whole administration first. So, you know what I'm saying? This is different. So I'm glad that this Diddy thing is not like dividing people in some, oh, so you support rape, huh? Like, yo, chill.
So you walk around saying, take that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm glad it's not on that type time. At least not yet. But a whole lot of information is going to come through that's going to, you know, this is going to show people a lot. What I think that, and you can
see, this is the question I wanted to ask you. Hypothetically, if he gets off, do you think the court of public opinion will still look at him and look as the villain, or look at him as do you think he'd still be locked up by the public?
I think that if he gets off, people are going to start pointing towards his money. I think a lot of people are going to take that route. Well, you know, if he didn't have the money like that, then he wouldn't have got off. But even if you feel that way, his money couldn't even get him bail. He had more than enough to get to pay whatever bail that they set. So you see his black privilege and his wealth privilege just didn't apply here. So that either means that somebody really wants him gone, or that they're actually gonna call this straight down the middle. Now, what are the chances? What are the chances, black man?
For real.
You
That's
know,
the truth.
So we're gonna see. Now, with a gun to your head, be careful. With a gun to your head, if you had to choose, would you find him not just with what you know now, nothing else? And remember, we're not in that courtroom. With a gun to your head, guilty or not guilty?
I found him not guilty because of him being a sex trafficker. They haven't projected that yet. They just at the beginning stages. So they showed me of him being a domestic violence abuser.
Okay.
And that's not what he's on trial for.
Okay. So
once he gets, like you said, once they get to the meat and potatoes, you know, and they break down the whole thing about that, you know, then I'll have more of an understanding.
Ooh. All right.
You know, what's your suggestion on that? What do you think?
All right. First of all, I want to say that not guilty doesn't mean that you didn't do nothing. It means that there wasn't enough evidence to find you guilty of a crime. There wasn't enough evidence to lock you up. So at this point, from what I know, I would probably have to go with not guilty for now.
So all that you just said, you could have just said not guilty, couldn't you?
No, because a lot of people don't understand that not guilty doesn't mean that you didn't do nothing. And when we have an obligation on this platform to make sure that people understand legal language.
Well, look, see, and that's the main thing I'm saying. It's not vice versa. I agree 100%.
Hold on, Troy. Hold on. Can not guilty mean that you did it? You just don't feel no kind of way about it.
Say that again.
Can not guilty mean that, yeah, I did it, but I don't feel no kind of way about it? Fuck that shit. I'm not guilty. How you feel? You feel guilty? Not me. I'm not guilty, nigga. So I don't know.
I mean, that's the whole thing.
So for now, yeah, I would have to go down.
The whole thing about it is that they haven't proved anything in the beginning stages. They talked about the video. Cassie talked about her situation. Even the security guard, they cross-examined that security guard, the security guard that came upstairs and checked on Cassie. And when the defense team cross-examined him, they broke this motherfucker down.
Mm-hmm.
they broke him down because they was asking. They was like, well, you know, when you because he's now an LA cop now, and they asked him. They was like, well, you know, before you're a cop now, so you're under oath in here, but you have an oath as a cop to be, you know, to tell the truth as well. So they said, well, when you seen everything going on and this, that, and the other, why you didn't write the report up? He said, why you didn't put everything in the report? Because in your report, it doesn't show that there was a man in the room when you went to the room. He said, I didn't think at that time it meant anything. He said, they said, well, you said that you're saying that you seen Cassie with a black eye. You didn't put that in the report. He said, well, at that time, he didn't think that it was important. This man even had to admit that he sent videos and pictures to his wife bragging about the situation with Diddy and Cassie.
Mm.
And then when he offered, Diddy said, you know, he said to Diddy, you know, at some point in time, you're going to have to pay for the damages in the room. Yeah, take this money. Just take this money. Don't say nothing about it. They said, well, you didn't even he didn't take the money, but they said, well, when he was giving you the money, do you think that he was giving you the money to bribe you, or do you think he was giving the money for you to take care of the stuff that happened in the room that was broken?
Okay.
He said, you see, they're breaking this case down bit by bit, and that's just in the beginning stages. One of the lawyers, that's one of Diddy's lawyers, is Mark Garagos' daughter. You know what Mark Garagos' daughter is? Mark Garagos is, right? That was Michael Jackson's lawyer.
Oh, okay. So these high power lawyers mean he was also the Menendez brothers' lawyer. Okay. Oh, so, speaking of them, hold on. Did you hear about them? The Menendez brothers got a little break in their case. They might be coming home soon.
50 years to life.
They coming home, man. They coming home like little Boosie. They coming home, son. They come home.
let's just get this straight.
Go ahead, son. Go ahead.
Let's get this straight. So, your mother and your father.
Yeah.
You're saying your father abused you and raped you as kids. Your mother knew about it and did nothing. And now y'all grown. So rather than go to the authorities, y'all kill your mother and father. And y'all get locked up for it. Not only did y'all kill them, y'all went and partied. Y'all went and partied while their bodies was in the house. Y'all bought cars. Y'all doing everything. It got so bad that there's a basketball card. You can see them at the basketball game the same night they killed their father. I think they got Mark Jackson on it.
So let me get this straight.
There's a Mark Jackson basketball. The night they killed their father, they took a picture of Mark Jackson on the floor bouncing the ball, and you can see them right there on the floor in the picture.
So you kill your parents, you sleep like a baby, and watch basketball like a fan, like it ain't nothing. Them motherfuckers psychopathic, dog. I don't care what nobody says.
What this does is it sets a precedent, though. So now what you're telling me is that if your mother and father does something wrong to you and they abuse you or they sexually assault you, you can just kill them now.
Well, the thing is, it was totally premeditated.
Yes, and that makes it. That's what I don't understand.
I don't understand. They planned it out, executed it, and covered it up. I mean, if me and you get into an argument, and I go to my and we trade blows, and I go to my car and get my hammer and bang you, That's premeditated. It's murder one. That ain't gonna be no crime of passion. It's murder one.
But see what they saying is that since nobody never brought in the evidence of them being people coming forward saying that they were abused or sexually assaulted, then that was brought to the forefront.
No, I understand the case. I followed the case. What I'm saying is, it's premeditated murder.
Premeditated. There you go.
You know,
don't take away that.
They playing the shit out of killing their parents, man. Come on, man. Come on. You know, like, look, you can't reduce that to no manslaughter or second degree. Like, what are you talking about? It's murder one.
I guess you know the fucked up part. Now I was getting ready because somebody was talking about on the live stream today. I was ready to say I guess they getting ready to go for Scott Peterson now to try to get him out of jail after killing his wife and his baby, Lacey Peterson. I mean, if they just letting people out for murder for, you know, it's just unbelievable.
Hold on, we are. All right, hold on.
You have a call from.
Caller with the last number is 5639. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. What's on your mind this evening? This morning.
Hey.
Yeah. Hey, how are you? This is a familiar voice.
Who's this? Who am I saying talking to?
You better shut up acting like that.
What's going on, little sis?
Tired. I'm very tired.
Look, I wanted to ask you about your artwork on your little side thing. Is that Charles Bibb artwork?
What are you talking about?
On your little emblem on the side of your name, Tim's Williams. Is that Charles Bibb artwork?
I've always had that since the 90s.
Look up Charles Bibb. That's who it is.
Well, somebody created it for me in the 90s, so I don't know.
Yeah, I got artwork by them.
Somebody named it. I'm all right. I'm tired. I just want to comment on some of this little stuff y'all saying here about the Menendez brothers.
We talking about Diddy first, though, but you can go with that.
I don't know about the Diddy stuff, to be honest. I'm not keeping up with that because I always thought he was a shitter. So there's the end of that. I don't have nothing
what he was what?
Today. I've always thought he was a shitter.
A shitter?
Yeah.
I've never heard that term.
I've never felt anything different. So there's the end of that. I hope he gets what life has for him. I hope he gets everything that life has for him that he deserves. That's where I stand on it. Take it however. But as far as the stuff with the Menendez brothers, you know, it's easy for someone to sit back and say, you know, they did this and this, but they premeditated what they did to their parents. So anytime we get mad at our parents, we can do anything. It's easy for anybody to sit back and say how they would deal with it or how they would handle it or how they feel about it when you are not in those person's shoes. And I'm saying this from being a witness to two people who are fucked up individuals because terrible things happen to them. Terrible things happen to them. Mm-hmm. Something happened to them and they stay stuck in a mental world that I will never understand. And thank God I will never understand. It's not meant for me to understand because I didn't grow up like that. But unfortunately, I watched it. And sadly, they had loved ones around them or people who claimed to love them who didn't do shit. And here, let me give you an example. I know for a fact of a loved one who was molested by so many people in her family, so many grown fucking people in her family, to the point that they used to say to her, you know, so-and-so is going to be in the house. Don't you take your fast ass over there. She was 7 years old. 7. Don't you take your fast ass over there. Fast? At 7? How about why is he even in the damn house?
I'm like, where can a 7-year-old go by themselves?
I don't know. You tell me. Because make it make sense. And now as an adult, and I don't harbor any resentment, but I have had questions. When I was old enough to understand, I remember my aunt taking us out of town to visit this same fucking household. And she had my cousin and I sleep outside in the van. And we're just thinking, oh, we get to sleep in the van because it's all nice. It's got a bed in it, refrigerator, yada, yada. And we thinking we have our own little apartment or something. No. She told us, don't you open this damn door for nobody else but me. I don't give a damn who it is. Don't you open this door to nobody else. And we didn't think shit of it because we kids. We young. They don't think nothing of it. But now grown Kim is like, Auntie, I love you, but why the fuck would you take us down there to this sick ass shit and put us in harm's way and tell us don't open the door? So see, it's easy to say. I'm not saying it's okay to kill your parents, but what I'm saying is I have never walked in those shoes. And I don't know what that mental fuck is. But what I do know is for all the people who sat there when they first told people and they first knew, all those relatives who are coming out now saying, yeah, we knew, but we didn't do anything because he was the big name and yada, yada, yada. They're at fault too. They killed those parents too. And nobody wants to say the truth. And that's the problem. Because, see, that happens in black homes, too. What goes on in this house stays in this house, and don't you say nothing to nobody. That's been a problem. That's a stigma. That's every cancer it could be on many families. And how do we not know that was a cancer on that family? We see it. And for all the grown-ass people who went to court, when they were first convicted and said, he had money, there's no way he would have molested his children because he had money and he was this big name person in the industry, and a man can't rape another man. For all those sick, dumb ass people who sit there and said that, they deserve to get out. Just because people were so ignorant, and the same people who are still saying it to this day, they're still ignorant. And the thing about it is, I myself believe that's a different mental fuck for boys to be raped by their father. I'm not saying it's okay for anybody, but for a boy to be raped by his father, I bet you that's a mental fuck that none of us ever want to understand. So it's easy to speak these words when you're not in those shoes. It's easy to speak those words when you're not in that mental place where you're lost. That's all I want to say. That's it.
Okay, so what the Mendez brothers right or wrong?
I can't say they were right. I can't say they were wrong.
Okay.
I can't say they're right. I can't say they're wrong. And I know we want to say it's because it's their parents and that, but it doesn't make it okay. And I'm saying that because I know another loved one, and I know one who's not a loved one, and I try to be kind to her because of how life has treated her. However, she's not somebody I care about like that. But I have sympathy and empathy for her. Her mother molested her. And the result was she was a shitty mother to her children. She's a shitty person. She is a horrific human being. And her mother did some terrible things to her. And it made her a terrible person. It made her mean. It made her dogmatic. It made her just an awful person. And I remember one day I was gone. She had some people jump on my little cousin, and I'll bet you out for me. And I'm like, you fucking with that's one of my favorites. So I set it up with my back to her because I wanted her to swing. We was going to tear her life away from her. After it was all said and done, my auntie sat me down and she told me some things about this lady.
Hold on a minute.
Sure.
Here's the thing. I don't, in self-defense, I don't have any problem with you doing what you need to do in order to stay alive. I do have a problem with premeditated murder. You know what I mean? Now, let's say you premeditated killing somebody that you honestly and truly knew or thought was plotting to kill you anyway. That's one thing. But when you talk about plotting to kill somebody, you know, on some ambush shit where you weren't in any imminent danger, and you know, I question a lot of the level of abuse that they took. Now, I don't advocate or I don't want to make excuses for any abuse, but murder is murder. Murder is murder, and premeditated murder is what it is. There's a difference between murdering somebody and killing somebody. You can kill somebody just trying to stay alive. You ain't gonna get no first degree murder for it. But plotting, killing, and profiting off of the money that was left behind, I just don't see how those cats can be canonized. I can't see it. But really, fuck the Mendez brothers. I don't really give a fuck. I mean, honestly, you know, it's a different set of circumstances. Those are first world problems, and I got to deal with second and third world problems on my end. So even when we talking about this whole Diddy situation, we're sort of talking about first world problems. There's too much money involved in this situation, and it's really clouding a lot of the vision that people have on this thing. You know what I mean? A lot of people can't see past the monetary value of this whole case, and that's going to cost a lot. It's costed people their lives and their livelihoods and their souls up until this point. Now, more and more can be claimed after this point if something isn't done right now in order to make sure that we at least understand what we're seeing. We are in the days of multimedia, and if you don't really understand what that's about, you know, internet is the new TV, and just like the old TV, we saw images, we saw things look like they were happening that weren't really happening, and now we got the internet, and we are the actors, producers, and directors of our own films now, and we are only letting people see. I don't care if the most that you do is take a selfie and make sure that your body ain't in it and ain't nothing but your little pretty face because you 400 pounds. It's still manipulation. So the same way that you're going to surprise people when they see you in person is the same way that the real facts of the story of this Diddy case can be manipulated by those that are just trying to get likes, clicks, sponsorship, and everything that comes along with that. So we got to be careful. It's not as easy to make informed decisions now as maybe it used to be, because I'm not sure if we made informed decisions before. We were getting a lot less information before than we are now. So we're going, for those who care about this case, you're going to get a whole lot of information. You can watch me and take the information that I'm giving you, but I'm not going to do a whole bunch of these shows. And I'm only going to give you the information that I've found out for myself. I'm going to try to make it as factual as possible. But the next content creator or the next platform or the next podcast or whatever, they may have their own financial motive going on. Sponsor here, sponsor there, you know, that will make the determination about how these things about how they're going to present the information. I see a whole lot of clickbait out there, and I know I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that has seen the thumbnail of a video or the title of a video and really thinking that it's going to talk about what what the title suggested and all of that, only to find out this shit wasn't nothing but a short documentary. Wasn't no dirt in this thing. It wasn't it wasn't no gender reveal in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? I got sucked into another clickbait thing. Well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be a part of no shit like that. I don't have a problem with the truth. And hopefully the people who support this channel don't have a problem with the truth either, because we're going to get to the bag. We're going to get to that bag of truth, sooner or later. So, okay. So with this whole Diddy thing, one way that we may be divided on this situation is that, all right, so none of us are getting paid on this, paid for this, but there may be actors, players that are wrapped up in this whole thing that we care about, musicians that we've supported over the years, celebrities, people that we know and people that we know of, all wrapped up into this stuff. And a lot of the ways that we look at our lives, the way that we live our lives, our moral ground, our values. A lot of that stuff is wrapped up into this. And I think that's why a lot of cats are really, really mad about this shit. Cause it's like, we just trying to live our lives and protect our babies. And then you see something like this, and each victim that's involved in this shit is somebody's baby. Now, like Troy was saying, if this was a situation where there are the children involved, if there are minors involved in this shit, and I don't even care if it's a minor. If you 18, 19 years old, that's minor enough for me. You know what I mean? It sure ain't adult enough for me. So, as a father of a 19-year-old, shit, I wouldn't want my baby being caught up in this shit. You know what I mean? So, but everybody in this thing is getting paid. Everybody in this situation has gotten paid. And trust me, that's going to go towards discrediting a lot of them. It's going to go towards bringing their character into question. And it's going to disqualify a lot of people. This thing might not end the way a lot of people think it's going to end. But we already know that he refused to take the deal. Now don't get it twisted. Just because you didn't take a deal up front don't mean you can't take a deal later on. Before the gavel comes down and it's not guilty or guilty, you can still go to DA and make that deal. But just know that you're gonna look real crazy in front of all your fans, in front of all your, all your quote unquote constituents, all your peers and all that. Like, so you went to trial and then you took the deal? Like, who does that? Shit, you could have settled that $300,000 ago. Fuck, niggas, you crazy? But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. He hasn't been determined to be guilty or not guilty yet, but in the court of public opinion, as we can clearly see, he has been declared not guilty by some and guilty as hell by others. I want to know something though, y'all. As far as Cassie is concerned, and this is for you, Troy, you, Kim, and definitely the people in the chat. This whole Cassie thing. Now, I know a lot of people felt some kind of way after they saw the violent Cassie video that came out, last year. How do y'all feel about Cassie now? With some of the, by many accounts, she was a hoe. Now, that doesn't mean that just because you a little, just because you don't wear panties, that doesn't mean that you should be mistreated. But I'm curious to know, is your opinion of her being a victim the same as it was 6-7 months ago? Well, we already in the 5th month. I would say 8 months, 9 months. Oh shit. Matter of fact, it was almost last year around this time. So shit. Let's say 11 months ago. 12, 13. Okay, somewhere between 10 and 13 months. Is your opinion of Cassie the same as it was when you saw that video, or has it changed? Have you made an adjustment as you know that points to her culpability or not? Was she an enabler, or was she, was she just a straight victim? We know that she got paid $35 million. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to settle. And then you released the tape. You released the tape. Well, I don't know if they released the tape. If she released the tape, I'm not gonna put that on her. I'm not gonna put that on her. So, Pussycat says that her opinion has changed. Buana says she was complicit. Shannon Walter says, plus the only way Diddy would chase, plus the way Diddy would chase after her. Wait a minute, what she said before? Cassie said Diddy introduced her to oral. I mean, so. I mean, I don't think you should get your mouth peed in, but what's wrong with oral? I mean, somebody gotta. All right. Anyway, all right. So, I don't know. I'm just curious. Mia says, "Well, if someone paid you $30 million, you would take the money too." Shit, yeah, take the money. Shit, I already got my ass kicked. Take my 35 million. Fuck it up. But when you accept money from somebody, you just got to understand that questions are going to come along with the money that you took. It's different. It's different. If you try to, if your job fires you, you get fired at your job, and your job never paid you. That's one thing. That's one thing. If you can't prove that your job never shorted you on your pay, never cut you out of any money, and that they honored their agreement, it's going to be a little tougher for you to, it might be a little tougher for you to sue them based on whatever you're suing them for. My man, my mellow. Jason Sloan says Cassie is definitely a domestic abuse victim, but that doesn't make her a victim in an overall sense. In some ways, she was a willing participant, no doubt, because she wanted to keep getting that fat bag, Hey man, come on, man. Come on, man. I mean, we talking about showbiz here. I hate to say it, and I hate it even more that it's so applicable. We can't be judging these celebrities on the same scale or by the same motivation or same criteria that we judge your regular brothers and sisters, aunties, uncles, cousins, parents, grandparents, and people like that.
You have a call.
They different. They not the same. These being in showbiz myself, I've seen motherfuckers that would do damn near anything just to get on. This is before the money. Just to get put. Look at how many rappers claim, oh yeah, this label shitted on me. Oh, I mean, they talked all this shit about family, and they treated me like shit. Cash Money millionaires, anybody and everybody who has ever worked with Luther Campbell. You know what I mean?
State property.
Anybody and everybody who has worked with Jay-Z. Diddy, and all of these cats were known as sharks. But what they did was they put you out there. You wanted to be on these labels because you knew you would get promoted. You knew you would be out there. And you figure, all right, I might not get as much money as I want right now, but this will put me in position to get the money later on. You will. Hold on. You can say something, but hold on a second. You may have foolishly been looking at it like you know how when you go, you get a job and you work hard and you work your way up. You may have thought that's how it was going to happen on a label, not understanding. Fuck out of here. It don't work this way. It don't work that way. You might get a Grammy. You might get an American Music Award. Shit, if you get your score, you score a movie, you might get an Oscar. But you don't get promoted around here for good work. You get paid more. With the same contract though, if we can keep it, you don't like that contract, play that contract out or let another label buy you out.
So what is your question again?
Was your opinion of Cassie the same as it was when you may have saw the tape of Diddy attacking her last year?
What would make it change? What would make it different? I mean, for me, my opinion has always been the same since before the tape, before all of this, before they broke up, before. My opinion was the same back then.
But since the trial has started,
today,
have you followed any of the trial? Do you know any?
I have not, because I just don't give a fuck.
Okay,
like I said, I thought he was a shitter then. I still think now. He's always been. I think he was an abusive, trifling ass grown man back then. I think he still is, and he's got to pay for whatever comes to him. But I'm just trying to understand what would make it different.
Information. I know anytime I learn more about something that I thought I already knew, my opinions change.
But what information makes it different? What information excuses him putting his hands on her? What information excuses that?
Well, if she was complicit and him putting his hands on other people.
But what if she just couldn't? What if it was fear that kept her? Because it was a bunch of grown ass men who was around too who allowed it. And I don't hear anybody saying nothing about Jennifer Lopez. She probably was complicit too. Well, I'm sure there was a lot of people who were. And I don't hear anybody saying anything about them. I just hear people focus on Cassie.
But we have to learn about those people.
I
can't take my opinion of somebody 5 years ago and apply it to till today. I mean, how much did I know 5 years ago? Did I give a fuck?
It is always amazing to me how men can focus on how a woman should respond in a situation. I just never understand that. I never understand how men can sit and decide how a woman, especially a child, because at the end of the day, 19 is not grown. How a man can make a decision how a woman should feel in a situation. And there were men who were afraid of him too, a whole bunch of big grown ass men who were afraid of him. Like it's no question what kind of world this man was involved in. There's no question about who the players were in his world. Hell, his mammy was complicit too. But I don't hear nobody talking about her.
Wait. How can you say there's no question? There's nothing but questions.
But all I keep hearing from a bunch of men is Cassie. But I don't hear nobody saying shit about nobody. No, Troy, you've been on here for a minute. Let me say what I'm saying, please. I'm just trying to understand. That's all I keep hearing over and over on every fucking show for the past week. All I hear is Cassie. I'm waiting for somebody to say something about somebody else too. Like everybody wants to say, because she stayed in it this long. And I've never been in an abusive relationship, but unfortunately I've seen it. And I don't understand it. And I'm going to stand on the fact that depends on who you were raised around, what people are around you, what circle is around you. And that don't matter if there's a daddy involved or not. If you got strong women around you, if you got positive women around you, you got a positive community around you, you're going to act different and move different. We don't know what kind of people was around her. We don't know how she was raised. We don't know who was supporting her. We don't know. So because of that, she could have got caught up in that and didn't know how to get out of it. I can't say, because I ain't never been in an abusive relationship, and I doubt if I ever be.
So,
especially at this age.
So the court of public opinion says one thing, but the law says, did you rob the store or didn't you? Did you shoot the man or didn't you? Because if the answer is that you shot the man, now you got an answer for that. You
didn't see him put his hands on her?
I'm not.
Maybe I misunderstand what you're saying.
Okay.
Because the world saw him put his hands on her.
The world saw a 30 less than 30-second clip. You going by that?
So 10 seconds ain't long enough?
No, it's not. No, it can, a video can prove that violence occurred, but it doesn't tell the whole story. So wait a minute. Let me get this straight. So let's say you were in Walmart or somewhere like that, and you picked up a pack of gum that you more than intended to pay for at the register, but they only got you on camera picking up the pack of gum, opening the gum, and chewing the gum. So they didn't see the rest of the video, but they did see you get the pack of gum, go in the aisle, get the pack of gum, open up the gum, and put a piece of gum in your mouth, and now it look like you stole the gum. So the video, a small section of a video tells you everything.
Can you ask the question again? Because apparently somebody fucking stupid is in your chat. Because they saying some dumbass shit.
Well, listen, Kim. You either have to you concentrate on the chat or you concentrate on here. Which one you gonna be? Because it's probably
dumb is not the same. That's not the same as him putting his hands on her.
I'm talking about. I'm talking
oranges.
Well, because you talking about video evidence. You just said out of your mouth. You saw the video. What else needs to be said? No. It don't work that way.
The question is, did my opinion change? And I'm trying to understand what about it should make my opinion change.
And I said information.
At the end of the day, I still saw him put his hands on her.
But
it doesn't change it.
But do you know he's not on trial for putting his hands on her?
But that wasn't what your cousin. That's what your question was.
Okay, what was my question?
Your question was, did the opinion change after the trial? Knowing what we know now.
No, I said, knowing what we know now, has your opinion of Cassie changed from when you saw her being attacked on the video to what you know now?
No.
Okay, fine. But if your answer is no, your answer is no. I don't have a problem with that. But don't add in the extra stuff about like how it shouldn't change because the world saw this video. Shit, videos are manipulated day in and day out. And I'm not saying that they actually did manipulate the video, because the speed of the video that everybody saw, the one that was released to the public, is not in the real speed of how the video was recorded. So it's not in the real speed of how everything happened. Do you know that things like that can disqualify evidence out of court? Because it keeps you from getting a fair trial. You can it would be easy for your lawyer to argue that no, the world is trying my client in the court of public opinion, and it has influenced this court with the same wrong video. So it's making people think that it happened one way when it happened another way. But when we show you the real video, that hasn't been entered into evidence yet, and that hasn't been taken into consideration. And it has to be taken into consideration. There's a big difference between a court of law and a court of public opinion. Just like you said, you don't need to know nothing else. That's the court of public opinion. The court of law says, no, we need to know every fucking thing so we can make sure that we don't convict somebody who should have been exonerated.
The same court convicts a lot of people who should and shouldn't be exonerated.
We ain't talking about everybody. We talking about this situation.
But I'm saying, you're saying the court of law convicts people based on, and they make mistakes too.
But they do it. They make mistakes, and they have set up people. But you have to have lawyers who are complicit in the setup. So of course there have been evidence that have been suppressed and hidden and all that old shit. Okay, but you work with the information that you have been given in most cases in order to have a fair trial.
I see, Cass. I'll speak when they get to the J-Lo part, then I can elaborate on the J-Lo part. But they haven't got to the J-Lo part. And everything has been talking about the Cassie and the Cassie video. This is just the beginning of the trial. We don't know if they're bringing J-Lo on as a witness or anything. But the thing about it is that he's being brought up on charges for sex trafficking, not domestic violence. He's an asshole. He's a pussy. He's a bitch for putting his hands on a female, yes. But that does not have nothing to do with sex trafficking. It does not. So for that part right there being said, I'm not condoning the fact that he should be, if he got brought up on state charges for domestic violence, yes, he should be locked up or charged. Yeah, but he's not being brought up on that.
He's been accused of this, though. It's just like the R. Kelly thing. Everybody acts like it was the first time anybody talked about it. I don't understand it.
Anybody who knows me knows how I don't even fuck with R. Kelly because of that shit. I don't even listen to his music.
Listen, we got 5 minutes left. Don't do that R. Kelly shit.
I know we got 5 minutes, but I'm gonna say this much about it. When I hear more about it, I can speak more about it. Just right now, she's on the stand. She's the witness. She's the one that's saying things different from what the security guard said or what the escort said. She's the one that's switching the stories around when she get cross-examined. So that's not the public doing that. We're not doing that. She's doing that. She's making the case harder. You know, and the thing about it, let me just say this one more thing. I've seen my mom, like I told son earlier, my mom has been abused and I've seen it. And when I got older, I asked her, why did she stick around? She gave me her answer. You know, but at the end of the day, when you're in that environment and if you don't like that environment that's conducive, if you can die for that environment, then you leave and you go to the authorities. He's still a nigga. And that's the thing about people, I don't understand that this is a rich black African American that the authorities really don't fucking like because he's a nigga. So if you went to any cop or any FBI or any authorities to say that this man was abusing you, public opinion would have been out earlier than this. TMZ, ABC, NBC, all the alphabet places would have been charging this man. I digress right now.
You yield? I bet.
Yes, I yield.
You yield back.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man. He would have been charged years ago. This is what I mean by protecting other people. When people sit there, and you're right, the enablers should have been brought up on charges. Just like the shit with R. Kelly, the parents, all of them should have been brought up on all charges. But they didn't want them. They wanted R. Kelly. They don't want nobody else right now. They want Diddy. And that's who they want. We talking about the FBI. This is a federal case. This not no. You're getting months for this. You're not getting years. They're gonna give him maybe. They're gonna give him about let's say 15,000 to 20,000 months, and he might clap until you realize how many years that is. Federal crime they give you months. State crime they give you years.
Yeah.
Am I right, son?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, when he gets done, if he gets months, he might think it's a little bit until you add them years up.
No, I think he know how to count. He is smart.
You know, I'm just saying, at the end of the day, nobody's going in. I'm not excluding Cassie from nothing because she's not a credible witness because she's not holding herself as a credible witness right now. And when you take 35 million, that credibility is shot.
Facts.
It does.
Yeah.
You shoot yourself in the foot when you take 35 million, and then you come to court and you want people to show sympathy, but yet you ask the security guard, an escort, listen your mouth. This shit, you cannot put this man, public opinion cannot charge him for domestic violence. The state does that.
Yeah.
The government is charging them for sex trafficking. When they get to the sex trafficking part, and I see that if it's any young kids and stuff like that, or anything like that, oh yes, most definitely, he's held accountable. He needs to be locked under the prison.
It's gonna get wild. I mean, everybody needs to just chill for now. This is like you know how in the beginning of a movie it's real exciting before it starts to settle down, and then the climax of the movie, it starts to go up again, on the way to that crazy ending. I suspect that this is the way this case is going to go, because it's a very high profile case, and there are a lot of named and unnamed characters that are going to take the stand, that are going to be witnesses and whatever. And we're going to hear a whole lot of nasty shit and crazy stuff. But at the end of the day, just like you were saying, and I agree, either he's guilty of sex trafficking or he's not. Now, one thing about the feds is that it's really hard to duck the smoke of the feds, because, it's like, they say the heart wants what the heart wants. Well, when the feds come and get you, they don't be fucking around. You know what I mean? This ain't like Grand Theft Auto. This ain't like.
Why do you think R. Kelly locked up again?
Hold on. You can't speak no more. We in overtime. So, like I said, this ain't like nope. Like I said, nope. Nope. I know.
He beat that fat case the first time.
Yeah, he
beat the fat case. He thought he could be above the law. Kept doing what he was doing, and he got him.
What? No, I think that was a state case. Because that was a Chicago-based case.
No, that was in Florida.
It was Florida?
Yeah.
Okay.
His first case was in Florida.
Somehow I thought it was in Chicago. Okay, cool.
No, that was in Florida. He got locked up in Florida.
Okay. Well, what I'm saying is they normally do their due diligence before they ever come and get you. So, but it meant a lot to me when they raided him, when they raided all his houses and they didn't make an arrest until a month or almost 2 months after that. You know what I mean? That's saying a lot, because it doesn't normally go down like that. So we were unaware of the evidence that they were looking for when it came to Diddy. We just knew that his places had been raided. But you have to take into consideration the motivation of these raids. Once you hear that a person has been raided or whatever, it already puts a certain kind of a picture in your mind, a certain profile of a person in your mind, from the beginning. And then it's really easy for them to influence you either way. So if the good guys are bad guys at the same time, who can you trust? So that's why we have to use discernment. We have to really, we have to make more informed decisions and do our research and just find out if everybody who is taking a stand or involved in this case is telling the truth. Because at any time, it could be us getting railroaded. We might be a little bit guilty and be found to be 100% totally guilty. I don't want to get caught up in that shit. Troy, man, I want to thank you for coming on the show, dropping the knowledge. Kim, I want to thank you too. She hung up, but I appreciate you coming through. Appreciate all of y'all. A to Z in the chat. We're gonna do these birthday shout outs, man. Hold on. Before we do the birthday shout outs, let me let you go, Troy. I'm gonna holler at you.
All right, much love, bro.
One love, man. Good shit. We're gonna go over this poll. There's a lot more votes since we first started. 96 votes. All right. What would you rate Diddy's level of guilt? 60% says 100%. He's 100% guilty. He's a monster. 22% says he's 50% guilty. Cassie ain't all that innocent. So I guess we look at it like Cassie is halfway guilty. Diddy is the other half. All right. 35. I'm sorry. 3% says 35%. He's 35% guilty. It was his house, his parties. And 15% says that he's 15 to 25% guilty. They were all grown. So stop it. Well, hey, man, you know, at this juncture, it's not up to us to be right or wrong. We are basing our findings, our opinions upon the evidence that's being presented. Is it all factual? I doubt it. Is it all wrong? I doubt that too. We got a little mix and matching. You know, one thing I want to impress upon y'all before I do these birthday shout outs and then we get up out of here is that I trust man to do some man shit. And when I say man, I'm talking about in the spiritual or biblical sense. They specify man, so that covers men and women. I expect men and women to go along with their motivations, their addictions, you know, their distractions, their convictions. I expect them to do those things. I expect man to try to get away with some shit and try to make themselves look good in the process. I expect that from man. So I'm not going to paint Diddy is all wrong. I'm not going to paint Cassie is all right. I think that they are man, and I think that man will bust a move when there's a move to be busted. Sell out sometimes and pray to God that nobody knows that they sold out. I understand. I know how it be. But how many people felt, how many niggas fell victim to the streets? Relax, young nigga, there's a heaven for a G. Be a lie if I told you that I never thought of death. My niggas, we the last ones left. But life goes on. All right, so let's do this. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious May 13th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box. Diana Jackson, happy birthday to you. And also Sherry Wilson and Denise Young and Johnson Lola Inez to all y'all American born people. And also, hold on. I think it's a little bit more. Oh, Arik Knighton and Shakenya Tennant and Shahida Williams. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all a good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious May 13th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the rock out. Rock on and do the damn rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing and do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And remember, listen, man, this whole Diddy thing, I don't know if did he do it, did he do it wrong, did he do it, he did it again. I don't know. It was a sin. I don't know, man. You know, this whole Diddy thing. My hope is that this turns into a lesson of legality. This turns into a lesson of how court is conducted and what's important as far as evidentiary proceedings. And basically, you know, watching this whole Diddy thing, and I'm not saying this in order to excuse anything that he has done, but watching this black man go through these trials and tribulations, literally all black people should have a vested interest in what's going on with this case. Because if that rich black man couldn't even make bail and refused to take a deal because he believes in his own innocence and he may or may not persevere because of this, what do you think the chances are with your middle class black ass? What do you think the chances are when you may not be able to afford the type of legal representation that Sean Puffy Diddy Combs has? What do you think the chances are? So we should be paying attention and looking with a different set of ears, and watching with a different set of eyes. So I would encourage all of y'all to learn as much as you can about this case, if it interests you, because you ain't got to get into. I mean, part of it, this is all pop culture and all of that shit. And I can't be mad at you if you're not interested in this shit. But if you came to this show, you interested in it just a little bit. So John Neal says Diddy will get a fair trial and be sentenced appropriately, just like R. Kelly. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, there's a lot of things going on with the R. Kelly and his appeal too. Leslie Huntley, thanks for coming through. He said, no, you are sick. I'm not. Actually, I feel pretty good today. But, I appreciate you being concerned. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. I love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night. We will be back getting it right. 2 a.m. is when we do it, my friend. We do it for 2 hours every day. That's power. You won't meet a lot of people that do it, but we make sure that the shit flow like fluid, and it's not like a thermometer, but we get kind of hot. Yo, nobody around here gets shot or gets got. We gonna keep it tall, and I'm talking to each and every one. Yeah, all y'all. Y'all understand my motivation to do this thing, and I'm doing it without no hesitation. The bass that I feel in my veins when it starts to bump, I make sure that we do this shit like Big Papa Pump. Yeah, the veins are popping, but ain't no steroids. We gonna do this shit because I'm talking to you boys and girls, the worlds that we gotta fill with folks. I'm going to do this shit cracking heads like egg yolks. No jokes are going to get told. Well, sometimes because I like to write and I like to laugh and I rhyme. The times are changing and shit is banging, kind of like Bloods and Crips. And yo, chill and don't trip. I sip on a little Baileys. That's back in the day. I ain't sipping nothing. I'm drug free and alcohol today. Yo, I'm fresh, just like a fresh body. You would probably haven't seen that shit in a while, like John Gotti. Well, Gotti was on some other shit. Got people hit. He got people killed. I ain't trying to see no blood spill. Shout out to LGP Qua. You don't know who LGP Qua is? That's he got killed the other day. He died. And it's a damn shame. This city claims one after another. And nobody's seeking fame. And it won't get tamed. The shit is wild as the West. Back in the day, 1800s. Yo, keep your vest. And even if they get your vest, you gotta get a headshot or cut your throat. You're crossing over like a moat. And I'm the GOAT, not the greatest of all time. I'm talking about I got horns on my head and I go to bed. So it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Yo, a little later on we do something really good, maybe greater. And I'm a state of fact. Every time I come on, I act like I'm ready to do suplexes, break backs. Once again, peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. Love y'all to death, resuscitate y'all, love y'all right back to life. Please hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. I want to thank each and every person who participated in the chat. I really appreciate it. I didn't know how this show was going to go. I didn't know so many people gave a shit about this kind of stuff. But it's all good, man. Love is love. So please hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. We be back tomorrow night, 2 o'clock. Y'all make sure y'all come on through. We're going to be talking about some other fire shit. Peace.